Going to game 2 of the series, Cruzz smashed Looney in game 1, 497-0. Let's see if Looney...
Advanced vehicle crew tactics now in effect. All units to adjust. They're wise to us!
Let's see if Looney can recover the series. From this point forward, Looney playing with his main faction, U.S. forces here in the south, against Cruzz's Oberkommando West in the north. And I don't know if I'm willing to believe that Cruzz might actually go elite armor this game, but I guess we'll see. He did go Lend-Lease last game, which is not that risky for Soviets by any means compared to, I don't know, something without some kind of call-in medium tank. But
God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
he did go something a little more non-meta for sure. This game he's going to be fielding Oberkommando West, Elite Armor, Scavenge, and Luftwaffe ground forces against Looney's Armor. Armor already picked. Interesting choice by Looney to go Armor Company. He seems to really like it for whatever reason. See if he can make it work. He's not fielding Assault Engineers right off the bat. The Kuba Wagon here from Cruzz is going to head straight right to defend this fuel point while his Stern Pioneers move to take control of the victory point. SWS hovering here on the road. Both Grenadiers moving to take the left side fuel. They will encounter a squad of riflemen though and probably lose against those riflemen.
We're taking fire! Combat engineers on the line.
Kuba Wagon suppresses riflemen harassing the fuel point. Rear echelon troops jump into the house and will encounter Stern pilots in the neighboring house. Leave the structure and backpedal towards this cutoff. Stern Pioneers are making their way right to maybe try and force a retreat from these riflemen. These two squads of riflemen on the left side will encounter Volksgrenadiers and Cruzz. Will try to flank them from two separate directions, jumping into some yellow cover. Riflemen also jumping into yellow cover on these shrubs. Second squad of riflemen moving to support and flank this squad of Volksgrenadiers. And it looks like the engagement will go to Looney. Cruzz is trying to get back to safety as well as he can. That squad will retreat, and this one is going to move to engage somewhere in the center.
Enemy group watch out! Hold. Regimental HQ will mechanize unit here. Keep firing! Let him have it!
Kuba Wagon pulling back towards the general area. Stern Pioneers jumping into close range against these rear echelon troops as well. Kuba Wagon is going to move up to do a little bit of extra damage to the rear echelons in the structure, which may be forced to retreat since two squads are currently capturing on the left and this squad of riflemen is in the base. Wait, did something get wiped? Something got wiped, did it? Did I miss a wipe? Oh my god, a squad of riflemen got wiped? How? What happened? How did I miss that? Wow, a squad of riflemen has been wiped by Cruzz off camera. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that happen. I don't understand. Wow, Cruzz, you sneaky bastard. Apparently Looney probably wasn't watching either because he must not have retreated or something. Volksgrenadiers there will be forced to retreat. Looney's going to replace his lost rifle school. Changed his mind. Does have a lieutenant out. I guess he probably wants to get out that M20 as quick as possible and not lose any manpower in replacing a dead rifle squad.
God damn it! Keep your rain up!
Kuba Wagon suppresses riflemen.
Orders!
Despite their green cover position, they will try and crawl out of its range to this green cover. There's tier 3 from Cruzz, who is going to field himself a 4th Volksgrenadier squad before transitioning into a black calf track. Maybe he does have fuel transfer active. Maybe he'll go Puma. Be interesting. Ooh, that mine sucked. That did nothing. Only one model killed. They were even really clumped for that. I'm kind of surprised that did so little damage. Stern Pios move up to do what they can on that lieutenant. The Volksgrenadiers have no choice but to retreat away from that flamethrower, and Stern Pioneers are not going to be able to win this engagement solo. Retreat, Cruzz! Might get flame critted to death here. Fortunately, he will get away, if only narrowly. Flak half-track is in production now, and Looney is taking control of the left side cutoff. There is a Kuba wagon available over here to try and push these riflemen away with Volksgrenadier support soon. Lieutenant grabbing that strategic point, assault engineers grabbing this, and rear echelon troops taking the victory point.
The resource sector has been isolated. Ready for deployment! We need to start us a rumor like they did back then. Remember? The guys who said the water was bad, they were going to drink wine, and it was cleared up. Yeah. I'm on it! Under fire!
M20 on the field for Looney, upgrading with armor skirts now. A little late, 6.5 minutes, because he went with assault engineer squad, I guess, and just general manpower bleed, and upgrading it with armor skirts will be able to maybe put pressure on the Kuba wagon, but it's basically inside the base, and the flak half-track is already hitting the field. Volksgrenadiers are trying to stick around to bait that M20 into staying in this engagement, but they are going to be fine. Flak half-track gets minor damage done to that M20, which is pulling back to safety, and assault engineers are laying a few light anti-tank mine clusters here in the road in hopes of immobilizing that flak half-track. Meanwhile, Cruzz has upgraded with the minesweeper for faster repairs and may be able to locate some of these mines in the center. And for now, the flak half-track is heading left to try and push away whatever it can encounter. Having gone armor company does have access to a flamethrower, so Looney may choose
Capture point is being overrun.
to engage more over here towards the right side. He has laid a couple mines here in the center, so if he hovers in this general area and that flak half-track gets immobilized on any of these mines, might be able to follow up with his bazooka, which he has from the M20 vehicle crew. Most of the left side falling to Cruzz. He's going to grab himself a Rakettenwerfer and throw down some mines of his own over here to try and protect himself against his opponent's light vehicle. Looney is a little behind because of an early squad wipe, but this game hasn't really dramatically shifted in anybody's favor yet. And I think it could come down to exactly what happens with both of these light vehicles that really creates the first major momentum swing. Flamethrower engaging against Volksgrenadiers over here in these buildings. And the flamethrower will force both of those squads to retreat. Looney will easily take the engagement for the right side. Cruzz has not picked a commander yet. I think he may very seriously be considering going elite armor this game. He's going to need to float up quite a lot of fuel, though, to get to those Panzer IVs. That could be a wipe, though. Almost! Oh my god, stern piles go to seal the deal, and those riflemen just went around the left side of that hedge, and that Kuba wagon plus stern piles finished them off. Minesweeper spots these mine clusters, by the way. Nice minesweeping by Cruzz, and none of these mines are going to get hit. Very nice minesweeping. M20 moves to engage against that minesweeper and push it off the battlefield into point-blank range on the flak half-track, which will turn to fire on that M20 using attack ground. M20 will pull back to safety through that hedge. Flak half-track is going to pull back slightly for some repairs, not wanting it to fall too low to bazooka fire should the M20 vehicle crew take up a position in one of these buildings or something. Also needs to be very careful about anti-tank rifle grenades, since I'm sure these riflemen, there it is, Vet 1 on those riflemen, will have access to anti-tank rifle grenades now. This squad, however, is fresh. His other vetted squad just died in the road, so that's 2 squads of riflemen wiped, which is extremely expensive.
Squad ready.
Captain just took the battlefield.
We're getting plastered over here. Battlefield promotion.
Volksgrenadiers forced to retreat by flamethrower fire over here, and the M20 is going to go in on them and try and secure a wipe. The flak half-track not really available to protect since it's working on a rifle squad in this building, which needs to get out of there. They should take a safe retreat path around the right half of this building, and the fresh riflemen inside should be fine. M20 chasing the Volksgrenadier squad here will not be able to pick up the wipe. Fortunately, they just had too much health remaining. They will get away clean. Riflemen inside this structure take a bunch of damage and will also retreat. Both rifle squads on the right side retreating from the field completely, and Looney has gone captain tier, sensing that he's a little bit behind, doesn't want to go straight for major. He does have access to the M10 and bulldozer anyway, so Captain should be fine. And if he can get an AT gun out, which is already in production, it'll give him the tool he needs to take on Kuba Wagon and Flak Half-Track both. But until the time that that AT gun arrives, Cruzz is, unfortunately, going to be completely pushing Looney off the field with his Flak Half-Track and Kuba easily, and a second Sturm Pioneer squad is in production. Maybe Cruzz wants another Minesweeper to look for demo charges and to look for more of these light anti-tank mines.
The capture point is under attack.
Volksgrenadiers heading down the right side to get victory point control back. Looney has a 100 victory point lead right now that Cruzz really needs to turn around. Working the left and right sides simultaneously. And there's an AT gun on the field firing on these light vehicles. They will be pressured into pulling back to safety. Vet 1 on that Flak Half-Track does give it free access to smoke. That will help. All mines have been swept in this area as well by that Minesweeper, so nicely played by Cruzz to get those mines off the field, clear that road for fast movement by his light vehicles. Two squads of riflemen moving up over here on the left side to engage against Sturm Pioneers. They will be forced to retreat though. There they go. Getting away with one man remaining, both light vehicles pulling away to safety from the American AT gun. Positioned right there. M20 plus flamethrower. Wow. Bring that Volksgrenadier squad extremely low and will escape only very narrowly. Cruzz continues to stay just outside of range. Wow, of that AT gun, but his Kuba Wagon takes a big hit. Flak Half-Track forces a retreat from the lieutenant before pulling back to safety. Does not need any repairs, it just needs to stay clear of the arc fire of that AT gun. On the right side, two squads are taking territory, trading for territory with these riflemen and captain in the general area. If they were to join an engagement, I think Looney would probably take it, especially if you got any lucky bazooka snipes. Over here, Panzerschreck plus Raketenwerfer Blob moving up to engage against that M20 will push it off the field. Flamethrower doesn't feel comfortable sticking around. Got grenaded, forced to retreat. Captain going in on the Sturm Pioneers right there. Takes a ton of damage. Engagement goes very badly for Looney, although he may struggle to close the distance against those riflemen. Everything on the left side looks like it will be forced to retreat. Smoke just got deployed by everything, apparently. There's smoke everywhere. This Half-Track, one hit from death from the AT gun, and the M20 also quite close to being destroyed by mass Panzerschreck fire. Sturm Pioneers were forced to retreat eventually over here on the left side because of a bazooka snipe. But Volksgrenadiers continue their advance down the right to get territory under control where possible, and over here on the left, Volksgrenadiers with their Panzerschrecks have thrown up some green cover, getting strategic and victory points under their control to the best of their ability. And here in the center, or in Looney's base, lots of squads healing and reinforcing on an ambulance. He will field himself a 50 cal before making himself back to the front line, and the victory points are still very strongly in Looney's favor. But he has lost faction selection. He would have needed something better than a 497 point victory to get faction selection in game 3, should it happen. So clearly that's rather difficult to accomplish. And it's not going to happen.
The supply line just got cut off.
Flak Half-Track fully repaired makes its way right to engage against those riflemen, brings them low and forces them to retreat. Volksgrenadiers make a play for the cutoff. Sturm Pioneers moving to assist. Over here on the left side. Whoa, what happened? The M20 died. M20 got too close to these Volksgrenadiers, but they're falling extremely low. There's a very good chance of a wipe right here. Maybe even two wipes. Taking huge 50 cal fire. There's one. Oh no. I don't know if that was a very good trade. At least that squad made it away, but he just gave that lieutenant a Panzerschreck, which is extremely bad. Fortunately, he is making good progress over here on the right side. Volksgrenadiers taking control of the strategic point and cutting off Looney's resources in this general area. There's still one squad of riflemen hovering around here, but the Flak Half-Track should have no problem forcing them to retreat, and it looks like Cruzz is going to set up a tier 4 over here to defend the fuel and VP. But Cruzz is completely losing control of everything on the left side. including the cutoff. So neither player currently has a fuel point, but Cruzz does have one munitions point, and the victory point clock is stopped. Black half-track firing on the rifleman in this building. Stern Pioneers fall dangerously low to something and will be forced to retreat, getting away only very narrowly. Meanwhile, over here on the left side, the Kuba wagon is vet 2. But these forces are walking right into a 50 cal setup and green cover and probably not going to be able to break through. In fact, he may have just given Looney a Raquette Morpher right here. Decrewed a pretty good distance from the base defenses. Over here on the right side, the flak half-track is doing its best to kite riflemen. All Volksgrenadier support has been forced to retreat, and everything here is being forced back into the base. On the left side, Volksgrenadiers plus Stern Pioneers find an AT gun and clear it. Its shot missed against the Kuba wagon. The 50 cal will rotate to suppress this blob. Kuba wagon trying to do what it can as well, and there is now an M10 on the field, I think. Yeah, M10 goes deep against the SWS and locates it and will be able to destroy it easily. Cruzz has chosen the lead armor, but he's still 70 fuel away from being able to field the Panzer IVs. Grenade toss on the 50 cal will prompt it to retreat. Flamethrower is the only threat left on this half of the map. Flak half-track needs to be very careful not to get hunted and destroyed by that M10. And Looney has taken back total control of this battlefield.
Get your men covering the approaches.
We're losing a capture point.
Cover that goddamn line! Area secured! Boss fire!
Volksgrenadiers move to salvage the SWS right there.
Objective secured!
German forces
Fall
tracking
quite
on
low,
300
will be
points.
forced to retreat. M10 in the general area for Crush. Not getting too aggressive though, needs to be careful of the American AT gun which has been stolen, and the Raquette Morpher as well, should they choose to move and engage on this front. Volksgrenadiers are wounded but taking control of what territory they can over there on the left side. What was that noise? I think it a mine somewhere. Ooh, the M10 hit a mine back here and its engine got destroyed. Fortunately, the American vehicle crew can simply apply duct tape and everything will be fine. Cruzz is trying to follow up with these AT weapons, but that M10 is long gone. Tries to go for a miracle wipe, but has to retreat away from that M10, pushing him around over here. A bunch of squads are making their way straight for Cruzz's cutoff once again. Flamethrower leading the charge, prompts Volksgrenadiers to retreat. The flak half-track is available for this push though, and starts firing on the squad. Unfortunately, the terrain ruins that burst completely. Just hitting the ground. M10 moves up to push that flak half-track further into the base. Going to also push that Kuba wagon off the battlefield. Has to try and pull that back to safety, and the shot goes wide. Over here, the Volksgrenadier squad is dead. There's no escape for them. Lieutenant kills them easily. Volksgrenadier squad over here moving to take control of this cutoff, and Cruzz will replace that squad. He's trying to operate on a core of 5 Volksgrenadiers, just spending his manpower on more Volksgrenadiers until he can finally get this Panzer IV onto the field. Black half-track is still alive and available for whatever, and there's a bulldozer hitting the field now too, which is going to make it harder and harder for Cruzz's infantry and light vehicles both to take territory, but he is hanging in there as well as he can. 225 victory points left as he tries to pull off a miraculous elite armor victory. Wow, that bulldozer shot. Stern Pie was wiped. Cruzz has a little bit of extra manpower afloat. He may or may not choose to replace that squad. He does still have 1 Stern Pioneer squad available. Raquette Morpher needs healing. American AT gun still in the general area to support in this engagement. Bulldozer shot brings the flak half-track down to about half health, and it's going to need to pull back for some repairs. Volksgrenadiers moving to take control of the right side. Fuel and munitions. Cruzz is hanging on to this game by 1 victory point and 1 of each resource point.
Crowd's got us pegged! AT gun! Hit him back!
Sherman dozers have reached the front line.
Stolen AT gun dealing a little damage to that tank. Over here on the left side, Raquette and Warp are firing at
Crowds are taking
these
one of
squads.
our points.
As they try to make their way into green cover, they will get flanked by a flamethrower and possibly forced to retreat if this black half track doesn't save the day. Grenades being tossed in this building do only minor damage. Raquette, AT gun and more Folks Grenadiers here in the back in a little bit of danger. The Koopa wagon will suppress that squad of riflemen, fortunately, and over here on the left side, the black half track is not hitting anything because of this stupid little hill. You can see the sharp bump in the terrain right there is causing huge problems for Cruzz, and the M10 will probably kill that black half track. There it goes. Black half track dead. RNG bombs deployed over here on the right side will wipe the AT gun as well, and it looks like Looney is going to take this game. I don't think Cruzz can recover from this situation, although he is only 15 fuel away from his call-in tanks. Koopa wagon dies to the bulldozer here on the right side.
Infantry neutralized!
M10 ready for action.
Cruzz doesn't think he can make it to his Panzer IVs, unfortunately, which means we are going to see this series taken to Game 3. Well played, Looney. Go into Game 3 with Cruzz having faction selection.